So Tony Ferguson has called out Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler has responded, and Cody Garbrandt has called out Sean O'Malley, and I thought, why not break down both of these topics on today's MMA News reaction video, starting with Tony Ferguson calling out Michael Chandler. He's plotting his next move in 2022. Of course, we've all been waiting for who Tony Ferguson will be looking to take on next, and apparently he set his eyes on Michael Chandler, and I quote, according to Tony Ferguson. Now, I do have to say beforehand, before I read this message, this has been translated from Tony Ferguson language on Twitter. So there's going to be a lot of emojis and stuff missing from this text. But in order for the common human to understand the message that he's trying to get across, MMA Islanders very nicely and very kindly removed all of the random weird emojis of penguins and boats for some I don't know why he puts all of those emojis in, but now I can understand the message, and I quote, "There's my bitch, Mike Chandler MMA. The brass, aka Dana White in the UFC, relayed your message saying you would be ready for me in April/June. Looks like you're trying to delay that ass whooping I owe ya for cutting in line. Kid, it's wrestling season, motherfucker. Man up, champ." The message is clear. He wants Michael Chandler next. He's told the UFC that he's interested in Michael Chandler, and it seems as though he's admitted that Michael Chandler seems interested in taking him on, but he's looking to come back around April/June, so I'm assuming that means May as well is in the mix there, not just April or June. I'm assuming he means between that time frame, April to June. I just don't understand if Tony Ferguson understands that Michael Chandler might be looking to come back in June. McGregor's looking to come back in June. Tony Ferguson versus McGregor. Now, I am happy about this matchup being made, because if Tony Ferguson loses his next fight, I'd at least like it to be against a big name that we can push forward, someone who's very marketable, that we can jump right back into the top 5 of the lightweight division in Michael Chandler, because he has made a massive statement and a massive good impression on the MMA community in his first year within the UFC. It's only been a year since Michael Chandler's been here. KO's Dan Hooker in the first round, loses to Charles Oliveira but was whooping him in that first round almost to a 10-8 anyway, and then round 3 of his career in the UFC, he has a war with Justin Gaethje and goes toe-to-toe with Gaethje for 3 straight rounds and gives us one of the best fights of the year. Michael Chandler's had a very good first impression on the UFC community and fan base, but Tony Ferguson, I'm glad it's not Gregor Gillespie. That's all I'm going to say about this situation. Gregor Gillespie was calling out Tony Ferguson, and Tony Ferguson mentioned after Gregor Gillespie called him out that he was looking to come back, and I was really, really worried that we were going to see Tony Ferguson get completely fucking manhandled by Gregor Gillespie. Now, again, there is a chance here that Tony Ferguson gets sparked out cold in the first round, and I would honestly rather see him get ragdolled all over the place, but again, it's Gregor Gillespie. It would be a bit more of a less impactful loss, or it would be a more impactful loss, but it wouldn't be the same hype for the winner after that bout. If Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson fight each other, it's going to be a massive spectacle, but if he fights Gregor Gillespie, it could be on the co-main event of a fight night or something like that. Like, it's not really a big fight that you'd like to see Tony Ferguson's name involved in, but the Michael Chandler fight does make quite a bit of sense, and I would love to see that matchup go down. However, if he's looking to come back in May or June, McGregor, Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor is a perfect matchup for Tony Ferguson and Conor McGregor. Loser goes home, winner stays on, but the Michael Chandler fight, I do believe that Chandler would probably chin Ferguson, or at least, in any case, rock him really badly in the early rounds all over the place. But there is a chance that Michael Chandler goes for a finish on Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is fucking combat rolling all over the place, making Chandler miss. Chandler's going for the finish. He's chasing down Tony Ferguson, looking for the big ground and pound shots. Ferguson's taking them, but rolling all over the place and springing up and then falling over again. Chuck Congo, Pat Berry-esque. And then he gets back up, and all of a sudden, Michael Chandler is gassed out looking for a finish, and Tony Ferguson can get the job done in those later rounds. It's kind of like the main way Ferguson wins fights anyway. Like, he does typically lose that early round, or at least have a very competitive early round and then take over as the rounds go on. So I don't mind Ferguson's chances, but it's hard to imagine, in the form that Chandler is in right now, he rocked Gaethje in the first round really badly. Really badly rocked him in that first round and went for the finish there. It's really hard to imagine Michael Chandler not just landing that big right hand on Tony Ferguson and putting him out very badly. But Ferguson still got his chin. Maybe that chin was lost against Justin Gaethje. I think his testosterone was lost after that fight with Justin Gaethje. Like, Gaethje literally beat the tea out of Ferguson. He can call himself like Only Ferguson from now on, because he genuinely lost all strength in takedown defense after that bout. Now, again, we know now it's Charles Oliveira. He's become the world champ. He just beat Dustin Poirier. So all of a sudden, going the distance with Charles Oliveira doesn't seem so bad anymore. But I don't mind this matchup. It's an okay one. There's going to be some big beef on the line as well, because, of course, he mentioned even in his call-out of Michael Chandler, you're trying to delay the ass-whooping I owe you for cutting in line, kid. They had that moment back and forth at a press conference for whatever card it was. I believe UFC 262, Oliveira versus Chandler. They were both on the press conference. Tony Ferguson calling out Michael Chandler for having Dana White privilege and all that stuff that he was calling him out on. And also, Chandler was supposed to take on Tony Ferguson earlier that year, and Chandler instead got the title shot, which makes sense to take the title shot over a Tony Ferguson fight. But either way, Ferguson assumed that he was ducking him for that reason. But either way, Michael Chandler's responded, and he responded quite well. Oh, Tony. And I can just hear Michael Chandler's voice whenever I read his response here. Oh, Tony. There's only a handful of guys in this game I truly respect. You're one of them, only because of your tenure, not your stature or current presence in this division, or in the division. I'll beat you from bell to bell. Pray for a merciful ref. We shall see if this fight happens. Now, I need Yamasaki to be the ref, okay? I don't want a merciful ref. And I don't think Michael Chandler would beat Ferguson bell to bell. And I also believe this should be a 5-rounder in the main event of a fight night. I don't want to see no 3-round Tony Ferguson bout. And I'll say this also. If Tony Ferguson's management team don't get him a 5-round fight next, they are the worst management team in the history of the sport. And from the beginning, they have tried to destroy Ferguson's career. You cannot deny that. Ferguson is one of the most... He's probably the worst managed fighter in the history of the sport. The amount of fights that he took, that he didn't even have to take in order to get towards his title shot. Taking on Gaethje on short notice. A completely different style matchup that Ali Abdulaziz knew about because he already told Gaethje to stay ready just in case. Now, his management team have been putting him against Oliveira in a 3-rounder, and he makes it to a decision. Dariush in a 3-rounder. Why are they doing this? It makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. 5-round, main event of a fight night, steal the show on a weekend, have the whole weekend about Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chandler, and you can have an amazing fight night card underneath them. And I think that's what they should do. 5 rounds, Ferguson, Chandler, they've been going back and forth. Let's make it happen. I don't mind Ferguson's chances on a gassed out Chandler in a 5-round fight. If Chandler can't finish him in a 5-rounder, even in a 3-rounder it's a bit risky. But if I was Ferguson and I had 5 rounds and I knew Chandler was going to come out there looking to KO me in the first, I'd welcome it. Try and KO me. I'll trust whatever chin I have left to take your shots, roll around like a spastic all over the place, and then maybe come back in the later rounds and finish you when you're completely gassed out. And I could see that happening, so we'll see how it goes. I would put my money on Chandler KOing him in the first round brutally, but at the same time, Ferguson's got his chance. Moving on to another headline, which was Cody Garbrandt calling out Sean O'Malley, and he said, Sean O'Malley, I really want to whoop his ass. That's a fight that's looming. Hopefully that could possibly be my next one. I want that fight, so I'd like to stay at 35. I'm so sorry, yeah. Garbrandt's fought top competition. Sean O'Malley would, and I'm very confident in saying this. Sean O'Malley would 1st round walk-off KO him brutally and out cold. I really believe that would happen. I just think there's a massive technique difference and skill difference between the pair of them. And Garbrandt had this technique against Dominic Cruz, except he caught Dominic Cruz with that technique. And Cruz doesn't really have the power to put someone down or really hurt someone or make someone pay for being open in certain situations. Dominic Cruz, if you'll remember, outlanded Cody Garbrandt at range for every single round of their championship fight. But the difference was, when Garbrandt landed, Cruz went down now and again, which won Garbrandt those rounds. And when Cruz landed, more than Garbrandt every round, nothing really happened because it's Dominic Cruz's pillow fists. If Sean O'Malley lands on Cody Garbrandt, just like I said if Kai Kara-France lands on Garbrandt, I said Kai Kara-France would KO him in the first round. I think Garbrandt's chin is just getting worse and worse. It's another KO lost deep. It's lost a little bit more density. He's probably going to grow the beard a little bit more dense just to make up for it. Move up to 135, I agree. But to take a Sean O'Malley fight, shut the fuck up and stop. Please, you're going to get hurt badly. Fight Rani Yahya. That's my opinion on the Cody Garbrandt situation. Sean O'Malley, in my opinion, would definitely beat him. KO him in the first round really badly. He's got the range. He's got the technique. He's getting better and better every single fight, and I don't think you can say that about Cody Garbrandt. And people are saying, oh, go to Trevor Whitman's gym. I don't think it's about that, man. I think he's just not very good technically, and you're not going to be able to polish those things up in the next 6 months. I think he needs to take like a 2-year journey back towards the top of the bantamweight division. Taking on Rani Yahya. Taking on maybe another guy who, like maybe a Casey Kenny, a teammate of Sean O'Malley or something like that afterwards. Like more approachable matchups that you could win because of the power difference that you have. Don't take on Sean O'Malley right now. He's on the fucking come up. He's improving every fight. And he'd probably lights out KO you in the first round. And that would genuinely be over. Now, I do understand, if he beats Sean O'Malley, he's right back in the mix. And it's a massive fight that they could make. But I also believe that for Sean O'Malley, why would he take this one? Fair play, O'Malley isn't sort of the guy to take on the most dangerous of matchups in the world. But for like, you know for a fact, if Sean O'Malley lights out KOs Cody Garbrandt in the first round, the comments aren't going to be about how good Sean O'Malley is. You know that. I mean, Sean O'Malley's been the fucking victim of abuse this week for giving money to people. Okay? That's how Sean O'Malley's seen in the public eye. If he beats Cody Garbrandt next, people are only going to be talking about the facts. Garbrandt's chin is gone. Well done, you beat a washed-up Garbrandt. Well done, you took longer than Pedro Munoz. Well done, you took longer than Kai Kara-France. Like, those are going to be the narratives if O'Malley doesn't completely fucking will kick KO Garbrandt within the first minute, essentially. Like, he really has to perform well. And if he doesn't finish Garbrandt, all of a sudden it's about how good Garbrandt looked. He made a bit of a comeback. He's made improvements. Maybe O'Malley's not as good as we think he is. Maybe he doesn't have the power that we thought he does. Like, there's really no winning for O'Malley here unless he gets the name value of Garbrandt, and that does propel him up the division. But Garbrandt isn't even ranked at bantamweight, so Garbrandt, don't call out Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley should be looking for Rob Font, which is the guy that he called out, and Cody Garbrandt should be looking for Rani Yahya, Casey Kenny, these kinds of fucking names outside the rankings at bantamweight. Work yourself back up to 15, take on a Frankie Edgar or something like that. Maybe look for a Dominic Cruz rematch if Cruz is coming off a loss down the line. Who knows? But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully Cody Garbrandt doesn't take this fight, because I do believe he would get KO'd very, very embarrassing. Very embarrassingly. But there you go. Those are the main stories of the day. And other than that, Sean O'Malley responds to people basically shitting all over him for giving away money to people. And that's the main headline right now. Sean O'Malley. He made the fatal error. And this is unacceptable behavior. Can we just say it as it is right now? Fucking cut the shit. I'm sorry I've danced around it for so long. This is unacceptable behavior. Sean O'Malley, over the festive holidays, giving random strangers that need money hundreds of dollars and paying out thousands of dollars to give away at a fucking Walmart? Satan. He is hellspawn. He is the devil reincarnate. I can't believe he would do something like this. And a lot of people are mentioning stuff like, well, you know, he had the camera on, so it takes away the meaning of it. What the fuck are you doing, dude? No one else is giving away money. If someone wants to record something so they can give away money, O'Malley could have recorded anything that day. O'Malley genuinely could have posted a video called Taking a Shit, and it could have been his face close up on camera on YouTube, busting out a shit on camera. And that probably would have got a lot of views as well. Instead, he chose to make his video about giving away money and therefore giving away all of the profits and then some that he would have made on that video. Because he probably gave away at least a few thousand. I saw him give out at least like 10 bundles of $100. Like, he probably gave out about 2K overall on that day or something like that, which is a lot of money to be given away. $2,000 is a lot of money. But at the same time, absolutely undefensible, pathetic from Sean O'Malley, absolute disgrace, never seen anything like it. He's up there with John Jones beating his wife. I'm going to say it. Unacceptable. But at the same time, back to the serious topic, he could have made a video about anything. He made a video about giving away money and gave away all of the profits of that video to random people. And they seemed happy. And they didn't care about the camera being on. They just cared about getting the money. But again, it's Sean O'Malley, so there's a big problem with it, the fucking rapist. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.